Okay. So chargeback invoice. So ఇది ఏంటి అంటే we'll see here. So you create the chargebacks when you wish to close the original invoice which the customer has partially paid and create new invoice for the remaining amount that the customer has yet to pay. Okay, so has to pay yet, sorry. Okay, so ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే so let's assume so let's assume your customer send the payment of 75 out of 100 invoice used. So తను 100 pay చేయాలి, but he paid only 75 rupees. Then you can apply that 75 to the receipt, recognize that invoice and all. Okay, and create the chargeback for the balance due. So ఇంకా 25 rupees ఏదైతే ఉందో so for that 25 rupees dollar, so $25, so we will create the chargeback invoice. Okay, so I'll show you. We have one more example. Okay, so enter the due date for this chargebacks. This default due date is the value. So default is the value of the chargeback due date parameter in the receivable system option window. For example, current date, deposit date, open invoice due date, or receipt date. సో ఈ చార్జ్ బ్యాక్ డ్యూ డేట్ అనేది రిసీవబుల్ సిస్టమ్ ఆప్షన్స్ లో మనం ఇచ్చాము ఆల్రెడీ. సో అక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి డిఫాల్ట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. మనం ఏది ఇస్తే అది ఇతర కరెంట్ డేట్ ఆర్ డిపాజిట్ డేట్ ఆర్ ఓపెన్ ఇన్వాయిస్ డ్యూ డేట్ ఆర్ రిసీట్ డేట్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద డ్యూ డేట్ విచ్ వి స్పెసిఫైడ్ ఫర్ దట్ charge back due date in the receivable system option, accordingly this date will be defaulted. Okay, so see here. So let's assume customer more retailing. Okay, that should be fine, you can keep the same, no problem. So invoice is 1 lakh. So he paid 75,000, remaining 25,000. So he don't have a funds. He will pay after 1 week or this month 30. So in this case, for this 25,000, we will initiate the chargeback invoice, and we can create the receipt against that with a new payment of new due date. Okay. So new due date ఇచ్చాము, new payment term ఆ due date రోజు pay చేసేస్తాం. ఓకేనా. సో total invoice is 1 lakh. He has to pay 1 lakh usually, but he paid only 75,000 due to lack of funds. This remaining 20,000, 25,000 we created with a new invoice. It's a chargeback invoice. Okay. There we will specify a new payment on new date. Then based on that new date, he will again repay that remaining 25,000. So is this clear? Guys, అర్థమైందా? ఇక్కడ ఎవరికన్నా క్లారిటీ కావాలి గైస్?
అన్న ఒక్కసారి రిపీట్ చేయరా అన్న?
సో సింపుల్, మనకి టోటల్ 1 lakh పే చేయాలి కస్టమర్, బట్ వాళ్ళ దగ్గర డబ్బులు లేక మొత్తం పే చేయలేకపోయాడు. 75,000 పే చేశాడు, ఇంకా 25,000 మనకు రావాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఆ 25,000 1 వీక్ 10 days దాకా పే చేస్తున్నాడు. అప్పుడు దాకా ఏంటిది స్టిల్ అన్అప్లైడ్ గానే చూపిస్తుంది. సో వీ కెనాట్ క్లోజ్ దాట్ ఇదర్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఆర్ రిసిట్. సో ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్, for that 25,000 we can initiate the one more new invoice with a new payment on new due date. That one more new invoice we can call it as a chargeback invoice. So what are the due date which we specified for that chargeback invoice? He will pay that remaining amount on that specific date. That's it. Okay.
క్లియర్ అన్న.
So screen print this on the chargeback. I will show you in the system. So let's check, is there any config out there? So here we have to specify the chargeback due date at the receivable system option and create the new receivable activity for chargeback and provide the account combination and deactivate the seeded one which was given by the system. ఓకేనా, సో ఇది కూడా పుట్ డౌన్ చేసుకోండి. సీటెడ్ వన్ రావచ్చు రాకపోవచ్చు అని చెప్పలేం. ఇట్ మే కమ్, ఇట్ మే నాట్ కమ్. So first go to receivable system options. Select your BU. Date. So see here, go to cash person. So here we have a chargeback due date. So we given open invoice due date. Okay. So open invoice due date you can give, or else receipt date you can give, enter date or deposit. So you can select any date. So based on the system, it will load that respective date. Okay. So please note down this. So anything you can select, guys. That should be fine. So open invoice due date means based on the invoice, estimate will create the due date. Run. Guys, don't చేసుకున్నారా everyone?
Yes, done.
So go to manage receivable activities. Please note down manage receivable activities. Select your BU. And search. So here we have a some chargeback adjustment activity will be there. It's a seeded one. You can deactivate this. Okay. This is a seeded one. You can deactivate. Choose some dummy account convention. So we can use this also if you provide this combination, but I don't know whether it will come at the performance. I mean, while performing the chargeback level, sometimes it may come, it may not come. It is not of. So query the existing receivable activity for the chargeback and put DNU. So DNU means do not use and create new receivable activity. Deactivate this. Run చేసుకున్నారా everyone? Guys, hello. రన్ చేసుకున్నారా లేదా? Click on create new. Select the BU. Chargeback adjustment. So use this adjustment only activity type. Okay. నేను cognizantly మొత్తం అడిగారు. So how many activity types are there under receivable activity? Okay. Real activity now. Select this. Select chargeback button. Please note that. Select any expense account or something. One sec. Student చేస్తున్నారా guys? Everyone. Is it done?
Done, Anna.
One sec. Save and close. Save. So now we will go and perform the transaction. Okay. So create an invoice worth of 1 lakh. Create a receipt. For the remaining amount, we can initiate the chargeback. Receivables. Create transaction. Proceed. So, can you complete that? So please note down. So create an invoice worth of 1 lakh. Please note down. To the accounting. Okay. So now just check the installment level. This is the open total due amount is 1 lakh. Okay. So now the due date is actually today only. So if you observe, the due date is today. Customer has to pay this 1 lakh due amount today itself, but he couldn't able to pay the total amount today itself. So in this case, he will pay 75,000. Remaining 25,000 he will pay end of the month. So for that 25,000 we can initiate the chargeback, and this 75,000 we will receiving against this invoice. We'll see that. I'll show you. Okay, so now create a receipt. సో రిసీవబుల్స్ అకౌంట్స్ రిసీవబుల్ సో ఇన్వాయిస్ చేసాము ఇప్పుడు రిసిప్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాం ఓకే సో we created transaction. Now we are going to create receipt and we can apply that. Go to account receivable, ask the bank, create receipt. Please note down. Click on create receipt. And back in my so it's a 75,000. Okay. So just click on add open receivable. So this is the transaction number. You can apply it. Click on search, add, and done. Okay. This is not a. So add open receivable click chesi. You can query your there is a transaction with the low transaction number. You can query. Select and click on add and click on done. This is not a. Click on add and done. Okay. So now select the auto apply. Submit and auto apply. సో ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు అంటే సో ఇన్వాయిస్ అమౌంట్ కంటే రిసిట్ అమౌంట్ అనేది తక్కువ ఉంది అని చెప్తున్నాడు. ఓకే. సో హియర్ ఈ రికమెండేషన్ ఇది నేను తర్వాత చెప్తాను. 2412. ఓకే. సో see here. So applied amount is 75,000. So still we have a 25,000 is the due amount. Okay. So just click on save. Go to the accounting. Okay. So convert cash to receivable on upload 0. Okay. So now this 25,000 still it is showing as an open amount here. You see, go to your balance details. Still 25,000 it is showing. We greater 75,000. Okay. So review installment still invoice is open. Still the balance we have to receive from the customer. So in this case, this transaction that received both we cannot able to close it because he paid partially. The invoice still it is showing open. For that invoice also we received only receipt also we received only 75,000 out of 1 lakh. So in this case, to close this invoice, we will initiate that 25,000 as a chargeback invoice. Estimate will create the new invoice and this amount become a 0. So the 25,000 ఇక్కడ ఇంకా మనకి కస్టమర్ పే చేయాలని చూపిస్తుంది. ఆ 25,000 డ్యూ అమౌంట్ నీకు ఏంటంటే ఇంకో ఇన్వాయిస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. అది ఛార్జ్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్వాయిస్. అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఆటోమేటిక్గా నీకు బ్యాలెన్స్ 0 అయిపోతుంది. ఇన్వాయిస్ అనేది క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఆల్రెడీ 75,000కి రిసిట్ అప్లై చేసాం కాబట్టి. సో వీ ఆల్రెడీ అప్లై ద రిసిట్. the 75,000, these 25,000 still is showing as an open because of we are not at received amount from the customer. So in this case, for this 25,000, we will create one more invoice that is called chargeback, so that this amount become a zero. We will close this invoice and that receipt which we created for the 75,000. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubt? Hello? ఇక్కడ ఎవరికైనా డౌట్ ఉందా? ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పాము? 1 lakh పేమెంట్ 75,000 వచ్చింది, ఇంకా రిమైనింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ 25,000. ఈ 25,000 కి అగైన్ మనం ఇంకో ఇన్వాయిస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం, సిస్టమ్ చేస్తుంది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా విత్ న్యూ పేమెంట్ టర్మ్. ఓకేనా? సో అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ 75,000 అమౌంట్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇస్ దిస్ క్లియర్ ఆర్ నాట్ గైస్?
Clear.
Hello.